I absolutely love history, especially when you talk about local history, because my family's from here, I'm from here, I grew up here, I live on some property here that I like to research.
I think it's extremely important, and just based on my research with my family, it has just provided just a wealth of unexpected surprises and treasures that I never thought I'd find.
The Historical Society provides a lot of resources, particularly now for people who are so interested in their genealogy. Every time you turn around, somebody's looking for their roots. And we certainly can provide them with that information. Our library is excellent, and going to put it in the new center, which will give people more room and more easily accessible.
Because of my profession, that would be a good place to go to see some of the record weather events, and just a place for my own kids as well as a lot of other kids to see what's happened in this area over all the years of its existence.
I raise my children in this area, and it's their history, and I want them to know about where they came from, and I also want them to know about what's going on in the area today.
Well, local history, particularly in Youngstown, goes back to the formation of the community. Youngstown was founded and was successful based on labor and natural resources.
These are our roots. The history is our connection from the past and into the future, and it sort of grounds us.
But to hear people talking about their experiences and how things are interrelated, a lot of that that's all an oral history. That's all things that people carry in their own minds. And as time goes on, those histories are lost.
You see things over the years ebb and flow and develop and change, and then you get an idea of where you're headed.
In coming here, I only learned more throughout the 30 years that I've been here. The history part of anything is a good base for you to work on, so that you can build from that and only get better in whatever you're doing.
That I'm really not from this area. I've been here 41 years, but in order for me to learn about this valley, I needed to go to some place like the History Museum, and I needed to see exactly what these people were made of, you know, and as I stated before, why did they come to this valley?
I'm a student of history. You have to remember the history of the area where you're living, or you're bound to repeat the problems that have come up. This area has such a rich history, richer than most for areas this size.
The downtown area for any area is supposed to be your vibrant area. It's supposed to bring people downtown, and people, when they come to town, they look at downtown, they see how busy it is, they see what kind of businesses you have, restaurants, what other cultural events, and we'll be right downtown with a real cultural center.
The center helps us tie Wick Avenue down into Federal Street, and so when you start to think of traffic moving back and forth in the restaurants and other entertainment menus, this is just another great addition to that process and that opportunity.
Centrally located to the community from all aspects of the valley. Downtowns are important to economic development in any community.
The History Center will be an anchor to downtown, just as the Symphony Center is, as Covelli Auditorium is, as YSU is.
And I think it would actually be a good draw, because like I said, you have people that are outside of this area that have ties to this area. I did a research project for somebody in Sweden that has ties here.
Obviously, that would be the perfect place to have it all in one place where everybody could go to see it all. And I think that would be of interest to folks not only just in the Youngstown area, but probably all of northeastern Ohio.
The visitors that will come, not from just our valley, but from probably outside of this region also, probably across the state lines. How exciting to have that sort of energy in our downtown.
I think it's huge for Youngstown, and Youngstown's a great location to have that just because of the fact that it's centered right into a tremendous amount of change throughout the area.
Now we have this opportunity, this great opportunity with an historical building, historical in itself, to convert that to our use and to turn that into a place where people can really have an opportunity to see our entire collection and really understand the place that history has in our community.
Considering where it's going to be in the Burt Building, that's a great central location, and the history of that building alone is really something that should be of interest to everybody because of it being the old ice cream place. But a regional center will not only give you the history of Youngstown, but it'll also bring in the history of the region, and that can only bring the communities together.
So it is nice that there's one place where people can go to get the background, to know what's going on, to get an education. And especially, like I said, it makes it easier, I think, for children too to really understand it rather than just hearing their parents talk about it.
I think that would be a great place to put all that history. I mean, you can't put all that history into one textbook for kids to read in their schools. You need a place where you can kind of centralize everything.
And I think it will be easily accessible for people. There's a lot of parking. And it's sort of going to be an anchor to downtown Youngstown. On one end, we've got the Historical Society. And I know a lot of people are anxiously awaiting the opening because they see the signs and are reading about it in the paper.
I think it's very important that we remember our past because it tells us not only who we are, but it tells us who we've been and who we can be in the future.